This is why you're self-sabotaging and what you need to do to stop it. So about 10 plus years ago, I was watching this movie called Coach Carter. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's the top 5 movie of all time for myself. Coach Carter is about a movie about this guy who goes back to Richmond, Virginia to coach a team that's been struggling for years. This team is not only struggling on the court, but they're struggling off the court, dealing with drugs, gangs, and failing their classes. So Coach Carter comes in, he takes over this team, and he raises the bar on what he expects of this team. He tells them that they need to have not only a C, but a C plus average to be a part of the team. It's not enough for them to go to class, but they need to sit in the front row of those classes. And then also on game day, they are not to wear sweats or anything like that, but they needed to wear suit and tie. So Coach Carter wanted to instill certain values and characteristics in these young men that go beyond the basketball court, because he knew that they were more than just an athlete. Now, what happens throughout the movie is that there's this one character. His name is Timo Cruz, and if you know this movie, you know who that is. He was Steph Curry before Steph Curry. So Timo Cruz, he was a knucklehead, to be honest, even to the point where he tried to fight the coach. Right? That's crazy. So Timo Cruz, at one point, he was on the team. He tries to fight the coach, so he's kicked off the team, and then he does some punishment stuff, and now he's put back on the team, and then he's kicked off again. Like it's crazy. It goes back and forth. But throughout the movie, Timo Cruz is asked this one question by the coach just over and over and over again. And the question was this: what is your deepest fear? And for the longest, he didn't know how to answer that. He would just keep going about his day. But one day, during a lockout, because what happened was coach got all the grades back from the athletes, and he found out that they were failing. So what he decided to do was forfeit games, cancel practices, and use practice time for tutoring time, for study time. And they end up losing their first game of the season. They were like 17-0. They were ranked probably top 10 in the state. And they ended up losing a game because coach said we have to forfeit. So coach walks into the gym. He sees all the guys studying. And right as he's leaving, Timo Cruz, the guy that tried to fight the coach at the beginning of the movie, he stands up and he recites this poem that I'm going to share with you. He says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others." And for me, that has been a game-changing poem. It speaks directly to being authentic and killing self-sabotage. And the reason why we do that, right? And I'm going to go over the reasons, but I'm going to go ahead and jump into number one. The reason why we self-sabotage is because we don't want to offend those people around us. We want to try to fit in with our group, with our friends, with the status quo maybe. And to stand outside of that will be almost catastrophic. It's something that we can't imagine happening. So to fit in, we fade to the back. We lower our standards, or we just simply don't talk about the successes that we have. And that is something that is absolutely killing you, and it's causing self-sabotage, because now you develop this idea that success is a bad thing, right? Success means exile. Success means different. It means that you'll be banished, and that is just simply not true. So I'm going to give you a solution to this. So what I want you to do is just simply start to test out this theory by sharing some of your successes and your wins with the people that are close to you. Literally just yesterday, last night, less than 12 hours ago, one of my best friends, he's a therapist as well, and I told him how much money I was making per session and all this other stuff. And for the longest, that was something that I really didn't talk about because I didn't want him to feel offended, because maybe I was doing better than him or doing worse than him, or whatever the case may be. And when I told him how much I was making, and then I told him the fear that I had, he told me, "Bro, like, I love hearing about your success. And actually, it motivates me." And that's the thing that you want. That's how you can tell that if you have a great core group of people around you, is when your success actually inspires them to be successful. People that I look up to and people that you look up to, like Kobe Bryant, Denzel Washington, right? So many guys I can name. If these people, could you imagine if these people were to play small and not go after their dreams, how much of a loss that would be for your, like, people like me and you, right? In terms of inspiration and motivation, right? Like, can you imagine the NBA without a Kobe Bryant, right? Without a Michael Jordan, LeBron James? If those people didn't exist, it would be a shame. It would be a travesty, right? And think about some of the people that you look up to. What would happen if they just say, you know what, being successful is no longer cool? I think you would be upset at them. And I think it's the same thing with the friends and the group of people around you. So what I want you to do is test this theory that your success means that you'll be banished, that you will be exiled from the group, and start sharing some of your wins with the people that are around you. Because what happens when you don't share your wins, it sends a signal to your mind that success is bad, or success means that you'll be exiled or banished, as I mentioned. And those things are scary. Those things are things that we don't want to feel. So let's reprogram our brains by starting to share some of our wins. And if you find that your friends are supporting you, great. We know that they're great friends. But if you find that they're not supporting you, they're jealous, they're nitpicking, or they're trying to poke holes in you, right? We know that maybe they're not for us. And that's okay, because not everybody's going to be on the same type of level that we're on. All right, number 2, another reason why we self-sabotage is that we fear that we won't be able to live up to the high standards that we put out there. No one likes to disappoint people, not even me. And what happens is we like to play low, lower the bar, lower our expectations, so that way we can hit it every single time. But here's the thing. There's a good chance that if you raise the bar, you will raise your expectations and your talents to meet that level. So why not go for it? You only have one life to live, and there's no room, no time to be playing small. So number 2, a lot of people, they feel as though the bar will be set too high and I won't be able to meet it every time. And the solution to that would be to give yourself grace. Trust me when I say no one is perfect. And you may have people in your life that may have let you down, right? And if they have, I'm pretty sure that you've told them that it's okay if you have a great bond with them. Because again, not everybody's perfect. This may be something simple as a friend forgetting that they had a date with you. Or it may be someone forgetting that, you needed help with some type of activity such as moving out, moving in, or whatever the case it may be. Like, things happen. We're human. But the love that you have for them or that they have for you, again, if it is unconditional, things like that will not faze you. And actually, I can make an argument that when people see that you come up short and you are willing to admit that and try to right those wrongs, it actually makes them even more drawn to you because they see the human side of you. So don't worry about it, guys. Trust me when I say things will work out in your favor. Go after these things that you want, and over time you will get there. All right, number 3, you think that success is going to be hard. And this is a thing that fears a lot of people. As a matter of fact, the number 1 rule in marketing that I've heard from a lot of gurus and experts is to never tell people how hard it really is, right? Whether it's building a sales page, building a community, selling a course, becoming a millionaire, we are told not to tell them how hard something truly is, because once we tell them that, we'll lose them. They don't hear anything else that we say. That's why we like to tell people, hey, this is easy, or all you have to do is this, because we know that's going to draw them in. Guys, success, is it hard? Well, I would say yes, depending on what it is. In most cases, yeah, we can say that success can be a long, hard, difficult road. But who's to say that something that's hard is bad? Something that's hard is something that you shouldn't go after. I would make the argument that just going after something that's fulfilling and valuable, that is the thing that you want to search for. Check this out. I'm going to give you an example. So I love driving to South Carolina, and I live in Miami. And that trip can be 10, 12 hours. It can be long. It's over 600 miles. And what I love about this trip is that when I'm driving, I can put on the tunes. I can talk to my wife. I can simply let my mind wander. Like, there's so much I can do on this trip that makes it actually fun and enjoyable, even though it's long. So what I tell my wife and everybody else is that the driving is part of the vacation. So when it comes to your goals, are they hard? Hey, if it's meaningful, if it's valuable, if it's something that you truly want, there's a good chance that it may be hard. But if you can see the value of doing hard things, if you can value the process, which is something I talked about in a previous episode, then you will be more likely to go through that hardship to get what you want. So therefore, don't worry about if it's hard. I would say focus on whether or not it is meaningful. That is the solution. So number 4, another reason why people self-sabotage is because they feel that they didn't work hard enough and they don't deserve the successes that they gain. I've heard this story a lot of times, and I hear from some people that are very talented in what they do. And because they're very talented, they may not have had to work as hard as someone who wasn't as talented. And for them, they feel as though they don't deserve the success that they have. This is why we love people like Kobe and the underdog stories, or just simple movies. It's a movie or a story about a person that goes through something and has a transformation and becomes even greater, even better than they were before, so that they can accomplish some goal that was set at the beginning of the story. That's why we love movies, books, and people like Kobe, right? They're able to do hard things, transform themselves, and gain everything that they want. And that's why we love those movies. Now, for you, if you find yourself, let's say, downplaying your success, as I mentioned earlier, or feeling as though you don't deserve things because you didn't work as hard, the solution for you, I would say, is to start to celebrate yourself along the journey. How often do you tell yourself, great job, or you treat yourself? And when I say treat yourself, I don't mean that it has to be something big or small or whatever. Like, it can be anything, right? My goal for you is to send signals to your brain that success is good. And we do that by congratulating ourselves. Once you start doing that, you start to see that, you know what? Doing great things feels good. And I shouldn't shorten myself for that. I shouldn't play small because I didn't work hard for something that someone else had to work extremely hard for. It's a testament to your talents. Number 5, you feel as though success does not align with your narratives or your beliefs. And when this happens, people fall victim to what we call cognitive dissonance. And what this is when someone has a belief that goes directly against their reality. So it's like when someone has the belief that they don't deserve love and they find someone loving them, showing them affection and all these other things, showing them intimacy. Their mind can't comprehend that this is actually happening because there's such a disbelief or even a negative belief that was already planted in their mind. It's like going outside and looking up at the sky and seeing that the sky is, let's say, green, if you will. Like, think about how crazy that would be. For some people, that's how they see success and happiness. It's something that just doesn't fit within their worldview. And because of that distance, right, because of that discomfort that's living in the mind, they will make the outside world reflect and match what's going on in their inside world, in their minds. So to break it down, if someone has the belief that they're not good enough, they will self-sabotage a relationship to prove that they indeed was not good enough. So even though they're like happy that they were correct, what ends up happening is it sends them down this path of not having what they truly want, which may be an actual relationship. So those are the 5 things that I see that gets people to self-sabotage. And a solution for the last one, I would tell clients to start to almost like savor when they find themselves in the, let's say, the midst of, let's say, some type of success, fulfillment, valuable thing that they truly want. Because again, these people that I work with, they're very successful, very talented, and I'm pretty sure you who's watching, it's the same thing. You're very talented, very successful. And when you find yourself in the midst of that success, savor it, pause, notice it. And this is why mindfulness is so important. As a matter of fact, I'll give you 2 things for the last point that I made. Progress and presence. Our mind loves to feel that we're making progress towards our goals. That brings happiness. But also you have to be present enough to savor and notice this happiness, the success, and the accomplishments that you're getting. So practice those 2 things and you start to see your world start to open up a little bit. So those are the 5 things that keep people self-sabotaging, and I want you guys to be on the lookout for this. And again, if you haven't seen Coach Carter, check it out. Even if it's just for that one clip, you can YouTube that, Our Deepest Fear, and you'll see the YouTube clip. But I suggest you watch the whole movie. All right, guys, this is Coach Wells, and take care.